Hello.
Oh, that's loud. I'm going to turn that down. Hopefully there's no reverb. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I bought a new cushion for my chair. So like it's supposed to be so you could sit in it for hours and hours and your hips are in the right place. But now I'm like above my camera. So I'm like, hey, what's up? It's all right. It'll be good for right now. You know, just spending hours in front of the camera, editing videos and doing all the things. So I got to do what I got to do, right?
You absolutely do. You got to take care of that back.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm getting ready for my stitches classes this weekend.
Ooh, stitches at home.
Yes, I'm having fun doing some Tunisian with your yarn.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's mosaic Tunisian, yeah.
Yeah, I have the Christmas in July this weekend. So, I mean, which we're in August. It's awesome. That's so absolutely fitting to my life. I'm going to put this on, so hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. But we have Christmas in July stockings. We're making those this weekend.
I know, I've seen them, and they're beautiful.
They're so pretty. I'm not going to lie. And it's kind of cool. Like Knit Picks and We Crochet both promoted it all today too, because they loved both of the projects so much. So very excited about that. It's very good stuff.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. If you have not yet, please consider hitting subscribe and already smashing that like button, because I mean, you're going to like what we have to say today. We're always fun and happy and good and all the good things. So yeah, if you haven't yet, please hit subscribe and smash that like button. We would love that. My name is Marley Bird, and I'm joined here with
Robin Chichula
over here. It's like backwards for me, Robin Chichula. And we're here to talk to you about the BiCrafty Champions Workshop. This is our weekly question and answer during the release of this workshop. And then I post these question and answer sessions to the actual workshops themselves. So that way, those of you who are joining the fun after the Olympics and after the release of all of this happening during the live make-along, you'll still have access to all of this. So lots to dive into today, Robin. A lot of people joining us. Is X equals Y is here. Antoinette is here. Stephanie is here. Halloween Mischief is here. Dana and Janet and Carrie and Rose and Patty Wan. So many people. I love it. If X equals Y says, I find myself wanting to crochet Robin's logo. Is it just me? Can I just tell you that means she's loving the charts?
Yeah, I love it too. It actually was a pattern that I had a long time ago. It was for a fingerless hand mitt. I think it was on the PBS show I think that's where it was from.
Interesting.
I know. How sad that I don't remember exactly where it was from.
Well, there've been a lot of patterns since then. I mean, we've been designing for about 14, 15 years now. Is that it? 2007 for me.
So I have to go from when my niece was born. So that was 2002, which means I started designing, because that's when I first picked up a hook, is in 2002. and then when she was born, and then I started designing in 2005 because I couldn't find patterns that I liked.
Okay. So it's
Frankly,
been
that I
16 years.
understood.
Yeah. So it's been 16 years for you. It's been 14 years for me. So we've designed quite a few things, which is something I definitely want to make sure we talk a little bit about today. Um, I mean, if you ever do find that pattern, maybe you could share it with the world because they want to make whatever it is.
I will
Antoinette,
definitely have to dig it out.
this is a great way to start the show, right? Or the question and answer. This has been so fun.
Thank
Can I
you.
tell you how much that means to us? Because
Mhm.
we've put a lot of work into this. She and I, Robin and I, have put a lot of work into our side of this along. I want to say this experiment. That's not what it is. This
It's
event.
experience. It's an
Yeah,
experience.
it's an
Yeah.
experience. So we have put so much in on our side, and I know for a fact that Jean and Lindsay have put so much in on their side when it came to the box that was available. Um,
Absolutely.
this is not for the faint of heart. This is not something that is just slapped together. This is not something that is haphazardly thought about, both on the side of what goes in the box and what the design is, how it's made, how it's produced, how the videos are done. All of that has a lot of thought process that goes behind it. So knowing that you're having fun means the world to us. We're really here to be your cheerleaders, to be your tools, to be your reminders, to be your teachers, to be your coach, to be your like boat entertainment person. I mean, I don't know, whatever. We're here for you. And so it's really nice to hear that you're having a good time because that really does mean a lot to us. So here's another one. Patty Wan Kenobi, still knitting section 2 over here, hoping to finish either tonight or tomorrow before Flat Marley and I go to the beach. First off, totally wish I was going to the beach. Second, Patty Wan Kenobi, you're doing fantastic.
Hmm.
One thing I keep saying over and over in my Facebook group and the Facebook group for the box, the people who purchase the box, it's not a race. You can go at your own pace. We are going at a schedule of release because we want to make sure that you are aware, hey, when you get this yarn, it's, oh, look, I already have something for it. We already have that pattern ready to go for it. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily oh, here's the yarn, now make this right now. You know what I mean? It's really, you can go at your own pace. We want you to enjoy it as best you can. I mean, if we wanted to, we could have been like, hey, open all your stuff in the box, and when that's all over, come over here and join us for this workshop. I mean, we could have done anything we wanted, right? But we were like, hey, we're gonna, whenever you get yarn, you're gonna get a workshop video and release and stuff. Now we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, but you can go at your own pace. So don't
Hmm.
don't think of it as you're behind or anything like that. You're just savoring the experience. You are getting the most enjoyment out of the yarn that you chose to use as possible. I mean, and sometimes I will often say that myself, even though I like am cursing and whatever myself as I have to rip something out. I'm like, "Oh, I just get to use this yarn again. I get to enjoy this yarn again." And you just have to, it's all about your perspective on life, right? It could be, there's so many different ways to look at something. And if somebody wants to be negative and constantly look at things in a negative way, absolutely not saying you are. Please don't, I'm not implying that you are at all. But I'm saying we all have a choice on how we look at things. So very much so, you are not behind. You are savoring the experience and you're doing fantastic.
Agreed.
That's all you got.
Yeah. I yes, agreed. Yep. I would go slow if it was me. Now, I would definitely not want to open up all my yarn and then wait for the workshop because
No.
I'd want to dive into that yarn immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we kind of released it the way we did.
Yeah.
That's just because I would also open everything on the first day because I'm also that person. The
Well,
highly impatient person.
I get you. Okay, so here we go. I'm diving into I know we have a lot of stuff to cover today, and I know that we want to keep this right around an hour. So I'm going to dive into some of the comments that we have here. I got to scroll back up to where they were because my screen just jumped all the way down.
That's okay.
Oh, I'm going. I got it literally jumped way far. So hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
While you're
I
looking,
will say, I love the Team Turtle and Team Sloth stuff. but
I love
at
it.
the same time, you do whatever you want. But I think they're cute animals. So I'm like, oh, you're great. You're
Yeah.
doing awesome.
Well, while you're looking for that, well, on the sloths, I actually have a sloth necklace because that's like my natural state is like sloth. Um, I wanted to mention a couple of really cool things I've been seeing in the Facebook group that just in case you're not in it or didn't see it or miss it, because I won't lie, I miss so many posts or comments really easily. That's why we were mentioning before, like tag us because I won't see it.
Yes.
I'm terrible
Yeah.
at scrolling and the rescrolling and anyway, couple of the awesome things that I'm super excited about is some of the customizations people are doing, which that just gets me so fired up.
Yeah.
I have a couple I want to mention um, because it might spark something in somebody else in what you want to do. Because again, like if you have the box, this is yours. You can do with whatever you want with the yarn completely. But some of the cool things that I was seeing, one of them is in section 5. Let me grab the class sample.
Okay.
And I have to hold it in such a way that, I don't show you something that you're not supposed to see. Um, okay, so in the class sample, I know, I can like hold it to the side so you can't see the other side where we have these circles. There was a member who was taking the center circle and doing it in the contrasting colors they had left.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, because that's going to be right next to your center. And so it was going to be like dots. It'll be like dots of color with all of your mini skeins left. So I thought this was awesome because spoiler alert, in section 10, I actually give you an option to use all of your leftover yarn in the kind of a similar fashion. Like so like if you did that, it would be like this great balance. Like you could use the first half, anything you have left for like the centers. And then in the second half, you could use it in section 10. So like that one I thought was like,
yeah.
And I was so mad that I didn't mention it on the video because that's brilliant. One,
Yeah.
it would be perfect symmetry. And two, I want to use all the yarn. So I'm a little.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, the person took a chance because at the time they probably didn't know that that was the center of the shawl. Like, I'm assuming everybody kind of has put it together now, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay. I mean, on the replay, you absolutely know what it already looks like. But, the first half of what we did was first half of the shawl, and now we're working the other half. So we're going to meet up at the center. Which I think, I mean, that leads me to one of the things I wanted to mention today is that one of the things that the benefit of people who are watching this workshop later on after the full event is that they already know what they're making, right? So they can immediately look at the finished piece and be like, oh, I can make a change here. I could substitute this here. Oh, if I'm short on whatever, maybe they only have 15 grams of something, but they want to use it. They can, oh, I'll put it right here. Like they already know that stuff, right? Whereas a lot of you who are watching live, or, as the thing plays out, you're going along for the mystery. So you are really relying on our eyes, which is one of the biggest reasons we're just like, pay attention, make sure you're getting engaged. I mean, there are no other patterns out there that you will buy that the designer, as you're making it, will be like, hey, make sure you're on gauge. Make sure you're on gauge. And it's not because we're crazy. It's not because we're mean. It's not because we didn't plan appropriately. And it's not because there's not enough yardage. I'm going to get on a soapbox and I just don't care. We did all of those things so that you don't have to do that. Like, that's why we're saying, make sure you're staying on gauge. Make sure you stick with the pattern. Make sure you do these things, because you don't know what's coming up. And we don't want you to get off track. We want you to be successful. We want you to have fun, because we did all the worrying. We did all of that. And we planned for all of that, So I just want to make sure everybody is absolutely aware of that the benefit that, other people will have in the future is that they already know what's going on. So they'll be able to quickly make adjustments along the way if they want to at all. But you guys, there's not a whole lot that is happening, right? So it makes it a little bit more difficult to make adjustments. Like,
Yeah.
Like, go
the
ahead.
mystery part of the make along
Yeah.
is kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
but with
not for
that, like,
everybody.
I
I
I
mean,
don't I don't necessarily agree with you
okay.
in that this is, like, the only pattern that would have gauge.
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
kind
I
of
said
I'm
like an
kind of mean
actual
about gauge and
no,
everything.
no, no, no.
Like,
Gauge is absolutely something I talk about all the time. What I mean is there's never gonna you could go buy a pattern on Ravelry, take it home, get your yarn, and be like, oh, there's Gauge, and keep going. But the designer isn't gonna email you every night and say, hey, make sure you get Gauge. That's what I'm trying to say.
he's
The
not?
designer's not gonna be
He's
there
not?
on your shoulder. No, absolutely not. I'm not. Like this is a unique opportunity here. This is a make along. So no, I'm not saying that gauge not important. And gauge is in everything I make, with the exception of I don't even think there's an exception. I think I put gauge in everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stickler for gauge. I'm always talking about gauge. This is nothing new.
Mhm.
So when I see things or hear things or whatever about, wow, I've never had to be paying attention to gauge so much. Well, I mean, it's not that it's something new that's not in patterns. It's always in patterns. The new part is that you have the actual designers here probably every day
Poking
just
you. You
reminding you.
probably
Yeah.
don't want us poking you. Like,
mean,
"Hey."
I don't I don't want to
A
be
lot
like,
of us.
could you imagine somebody just, well, you didn't tell us, but I did. Can I tell you more? Like, how much more? anyways, anyways, so you don't disagree with me. You just didn't, you, I didn't say what you thought I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little fired up.
You are.
I am. I
That's
am.
okay. Alright. Can I tell you something else cool that I saw on Facebook?
Sure.
Another custom so I get really excited about the customizations, like
Mhm.
something that makes it yours and your own shawl. Um, maybe it's because I'm a designer and that's just what I do. But I like when somebody like jives off of like this was my idea and then they take it and go in a different direction and it becomes cooler. I'm all into that. There goes Marley. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, she'll be back, is another member was doing the center sections, and you know how I was doing all of the opposite rows, not the opposite rows, the um even rows in my main color. Well, they were going to wait until the end and save up all of their odds and ends from all their minis and do all of the even rows, all of the single crochet rows in different colors from the minis, which
That's a
was
great
going to
idea.
be really cool because then it's almost like a rainbow right in the middle. And I thought, ooh, I like that too.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
Hmm.
That's a really
Hmm.
cool idea. I have something similar that people could do when they get to the end with my what's going to be my triangles. Spoiler
Don't
alert.
tell them.
Well,
She has a thing that you could possibly do if you got stuff left. Don't tell
okay.
them. You
Okay.
aren't supposed to tell them you have triangles in the middle. The
Really?
crocheters have triangles in the middle.
Ours is like okay.
It's a mystery. I let
Okay.
them in on a bit of the mystery tomorrow, which I'm
Okay.
not even supposed to tell them that tomorrow is another release day, but some of the
Okay.
mysteries revealed tomorrow.
All right. So here we have another question. If I have never done cables, should I practice on scrap before I do the shawl? I would say yes. I would say it's not a bad idea just to grab some worsted weight yarn, pair of size 7 or size 8 needles, and just give it a try. I mean, it'll be easier for you to do that than jumping right into fingering weight yarn. I think so.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I always recommend using some worsted weight when you want to practice something new. That's a fantastic idea.
All right, here's something for you. I don't know if she's talking about knitting or crochet, but I don't care. We'll take it for both. I'm liking charts better than the written pattern. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's knit or crochet. I'm going to accept it too. I'm going to take all the compliments.
Yep.
I want all the compliments. Let's see here. I'm a righty and daughter's a lefty, so I taught myself how to crochet lefty to teach her. That's funny. I had a crocheter in class once that was a lefty, so I had to teach myself lefty to show as well, which is it's pretty awesome. All right, let's see here. well, I go over the comment and it highlights it so to see if you want to show it, and then I can't read it. Um, Here's a question, just an off the hand question. I'll let you answer that one.
So the inspiration behind this shawl in particular was because the Olympics are in Japan. I fell in love with Japanese knitting and crocheting and all of their encyclopedias 12 years ago at least. Before you could get them on Amazon and things like that, you had to like specially order them, and they would
Yep.
take like a month to get here,
Yep.
and it was amazing. So I took that inspiration. They have a very unique style to them. And they have a very interesting way of approaching stitches. And as you can tell in the class, if you've seen any of the crochet class, it's odd. I do some weird things, and a lot of them.
I love
And
it.
a lot of them are just like that, just taking that inspiration of how brilliant a lot of the Japanese patterns and stitch dictionaries really are, and just kind of jumping off from there, jumping off from that beauty. Some of the other like kind of thoughts in my head were going off of Jean's Japanese garden and thinking of like the different flowers and the different things that you would find in a Japanese garden. That's why like a lot of the motifs, well, it's one why it's motif, so I could get flower kind of looking shapes. And then some were like architectural shapes that you would see in like bridges and things like that in the garden or in the structures and the gazebos and things. That's where mine came from. How about you, Marley?
So a lot of mine is, I mean, I've talked about this a little bit before about, I love symmetry. I love the idea of things that are very balanced and such. So like for me, um, I'm gonna take that a step back further. When I make a shawl, I want to make something that's gonna look good on my body size. So that's the first thing is I want to make sure I'm making something that's gonna look good on my body size. So that means it's got to be bigger. So whatever I make, I got to make sure it's at least gonna be a size that I'm gonna enjoy, right? Then it goes down to symmetry. Like if I'm gonna make things and I'm gonna go at both ends and I'm coming in, I want both ends to be somewhat similar in some manner of a stitch pattern. So that way they look very nice as they're coming in towards the center. I love that whole idea. I've talked to you guys before about I don't like the number 4. So very rarely will you find the number 4 in my patterns. There's even after pattern section 6 or 7, 6. Section 6, there were even like 5 little rings. Did you guys catch that? There were 5 rings in there, and it's like the Olympics have 5 rings. So there's 5 repeats. There's like little things like that are really important to me. I hate it when there's little, like there's even still little things that if I had little things, I would just go, oh, I could change it to do that. Like that's my hardest part when it comes to design is there are so many possibilities. It's hard for me to finally decide on one. Cause even when I do that, I'm like, oh, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done this. You know what I mean? Like the stripes and the divider, right? If you put that all together and smushed it onto one thing, it could be just one section, right? So it's like, it's one of A, we'll say one of A, one of B, and I say one, I make one garter ridge. So it's like one a garter ridge of A, garter ridge of B, 5 garter ridges of A, one of C, and then one of A, right? Even that, I could have been like 1 1 1 1 1, you know, or 1 1 2 1 1, or 1 2 1. I mean, like I thought about all of that. I thought about gradually making it so it was like 1 1 1 1, and then 1 1, one of the old color, one of the new color, one of the A. Like I thought about all of those changes in the striping thing. I thought about doing multicolors in the chevron sections because I knew I wanted chevrons. I knew I wanted a bias shape. I wanted that triangle, but I'm not really big on triangle shawls because I feel like they point at my butt when I wear them, and I just don't want to be pointing at my butt. So, but I just being real. But I make triangle shawls. Like I design them and I wear them, but you'll notice I never
Mm-hmm.
wear them on my back. I wear them in front.
Mm-hmm.
But
You do.
I love a good chevron. You know, I think it looks so pretty, and there are so many possibilities to it. So like when I decided that I wanted, I'm really long-winded with this. When I decided I wanted the rectangle, I was like, okay, do I want to go long ways? Do I want to go short ways? Do I want to go halfway in? Do I want to go halfway, change direction? So instead of working increases, then you're working decreases and the increases on the outside. And so I was like, I was thinking through all of that process. And so for me, I can't show you the full thing. Like for me and for you too, we both took colored pencils, colored everything in and put down how much yardage we had for each one. And was like, okay, so this is where we are. How many rows does it take to use up just about this much yardage so that we have some left over so that, you know, if people are off just a little bit, they'll be okay. But at the same time, still stressing the importance of gauge, but just so that you have a little bit left over just for that little leeway, right? I don't know. I go through all that. I mean, that's a very long-winded answer, but that's what my brain goes through. I mean, and I'm changing things all the way. I mean, you know this. I got to section 3, had the whole thing written, and I'm like, nope, I'm changing it up. And I changed up everything past section 3, like a week, 2 weeks out. Like, I'm like, and you were all, okay. And I'm just like, I'm not happy. I don't like what I have. I'm changing it. And you were like, okay. And so that's, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I answered the question, but that's my thought process. Like that's like inside my brain. I have all these tabs open.
That's what it's like living inside of Marley's head.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
It really is. Like even right now as I'm talking, I'm like, and then like you have the class sample, right?
So you can see exactly what's going on inside your head because you're thinking, they haven't had section 9 and 10 yet.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe I could change that up.
Right?
I can tell exactly what's going on.
In the class sample, I was like, ooh, I could just continue going straight down with the chevrons on the class sample and then make the end of the class sample what would be like the number 11, but change it up just a little bit and make it so that it goes that way. Like I'm thinking all through this and I'm like, ooh, there's another pattern there. Or I mean, we've talked about this before. Take one of the sections you've already done and just keep repeating it with the divider in between it. You have a great shawl. Like there are so many things that you have here in this pattern. You have so many things, and not going to lie, probably will add some of those things later to this workshop so that it's a bonus to the workshop. Like, hey, you liked all this. Look at this. You know what I mean? Because that's where my brain is. It's scary in here, you guys. It's really scary in here.
Let's just highlight what Marley said one more time. That if there is one section here that you are just not getting and you don't want to do, use one of the other sections that you liked. It doesn't matter if you're talking about crochet or knitting, either one.
No.
It's not going to hurt something else.
Yep. It's really not going to hurt anything. So I love this, Mickey Roop. I am loving it so much. It's making me look forward to future workshops. That's good to hear because I have a lot planned.
Thank you.
Because as we're working on one, I'm thinking about 5 more. Let's see here. Here's Joanne Hughes. Do you want to read it? Do you want me to read them all?
You read them all. You're good at
this. Both of you are so much appreciated. Blessings to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Here's a good Steffi Prygoff. How many hours editing each video? They are so well done. First off, thank you, because I am not professionally trained. Taught myself everything that you see in the videos. It's all me. For example, knitting video. What video was just out? 7? No, not
the one
7.
That was 2 hours long.
Yeah, so that's 6, right? That was 6.
That was 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that video recording time was 2 hours and 30 minutes. That video editing time was 4 hours and 20 minutes. Then it took an hour and a half to render and an hour and a half to upload. So count all of that time. But today I taught my daughter how to edit. So I can't even express to you guys how exciting it is. And it's not that she goes through and she does what I'm calling like the quick edit. It's not even a quick edit. It's that she's watching the whole thing. And if there's a long pause or there's a time where we're just like, hey, you finish this and meet us back here, we don't turn off the camera. We just keep crocheting or knitting. And then we edit that part out. So she edits all that out. And so she's taking the next step and she's doing, oh my gosh, you guys, she saved me about 8 hours of work today because she did it. And I was able to work on other things and it was huge. So I'm going to pay her. So the editing process alone takes forever. And then the filming, guys, Robin had to come out here twice, like not just for like day trips, like days. I had to spend days with her, guys. So
It was so hard. We had to go to dinner.
So like Robin drove out here 2 different times and filmed all of her sections. And so then I'm doing all of the editing with now the exception of like 4 of them. Alora's going to do of them. But yeah, that's how long it takes. It's long. It's a long
significant process. And it is Marley. It is quite a great skill that you have. Thanks. It is pretty awesome.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Carlene Roberts, who I often call Colleen, but it's Carlene Roberts. You always go above and beyond. Oh, thank you so much. Let's see here. I so rarely get surprises, and these are fantastic. That is so good. That is so good. And just for those of you out there who are catching just the live show here on YouTube, because you're like, oh, I like Marley. It's not too late to join. Like we said at the start, this does not have a time frame. You can still join the fun. Here you go. There's a link right there. It's also in the video description box below. If you click that, this is a paid workshop. Those of you who are watching this live in the comments, if you could do me a favor, if you could tell them that it's worth the money, that would be awesome. Like give some live reviews. Hopefully they're all positive. But there's as we've already talked about, full-length video instruction, downloadable instructions, which I want to talk about the downloads here in a minute. And then at the end, you'll also get a full download PDF of everything put together as one. It's essentially a book. And then as I already alluded to, we will be beefing this up as we go along. But once you're in it, you're in it. You don't have to go and buy the beef ups. You're going to get that stuff for free. So it's a really good, reasonably priced class. It's cheaper than some of the live classes you can get out there at other events. I don't want to mention names. So there's that. But okay. Let's see here. So much fun, having a great time. It's so sad that it's wrapping up soon. Don't worry, there's going to be lots of other things going on. Put us in, coach. I love that because I say that. I actually say that in video 8 of yours. You can kind of hear it briefly in the background right before, because I have a blooper right in the start, and then it kicks over to, Marley Bird, and you can kind of hear me say, put me in, coach. You guys have to listen to it now. Marla is here. Guys, Marla is one of my testers, and honest to God, a lot of the knitting patterns would not be as wonderful as they are without Marla, because her help has been unimaginable. Like, it's been great. And poor Marla was there when I said, I'm scrapping 4 through 11. She was like, huh? Like, yeah. She goes, oh, okay. So Marla is, she has had sleepless nights with us too. She's been up really late working with us. All right, here we go. Couldn't have done it without her. In the lace sections, I found the charts are easier to follow than the written directions, which is a huge change for me. Thanks for the education. That makes me so happy. Yay! That makes me so happy.
That's so fabulous.
All right, so I'm just going to keep clicking through so that we can make sure we get through a lot of this. It has been fun, but I got both boxes. Never thought I would hopeful a day without yarn. Yeah. The best is yet to come.
Mm-hmm. How great today was. Today was a coloring book.
Yes.
I immediately yelled at, Jean, because she didn't get that link up right away. I'm like, I need the link. I need the link to the coloring book. Me. She's like, okay.
To which I said, I'm obviously not giving you enough work because you have time to color.
Everybody has time to color.
And what did you say to me? What did you say to me? Shut up.
I was not very nice.
All right. So here, this makes me feel good. And this is important because this is exactly what we wanted you to feel, that it's a superb project and you're spot on when you said it's worth the price. That makes me happy because that's the goal. I am in section 4 and I kind of love it. Again, I don't care if you're doing knitting or crochet. I'm going to own it because I love section 4. I love section 4 in both of them. Man, I know I'm taking your credit. I don't know if they're doing knit or crochet, and I can't even find where that comment is now because the thing scrolled on me again. I don't know where I am. Okay, here I am. Okay, still crocheting, section 3. Hate how work takes away from my time of stitching.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
Here's that question. That is actually written into the pattern. So whether you're doing the knit or crochet, you can look at the schematic and see the measurement because the knit and crochet are a little bit different.
They are. They
Yeah.
are.
Let's see here. You make such beautiful things, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. Again, knit or crochet, totally going to take it. So happy. I know. All right, Marley, I never got my PDF for the Christmas stocking. Okay, Amy, if you didn't get it, one, if you didn't buy it, it's still available. Two, if you bought it and you didn't get it, let me know in an email. Just send me contact@marleybird.com and I will send it to you. Okay, not a problem. I will send it to you. I have not been on email all day, so if you've already sent that and you're like, I haven't responded, that's why I have not been on email. My daughter's been on my computer editing videos, so I've not been on email. But Amy, I will get it for you, no problem. You'll be ready to go for the stocking on Friday. Let's see here. Almost done with section 7. It's been a challenge, which to me is great. I love the different stitches and the fact that I've learned a lot. That works for both of us. That works for both of us.
I'm going to take it as it could have been mine. Section 7 was weird.
I love that you say kooky. This is kooky.
Your section 7 was just pretty. It was simple and pretty.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's to me, okay, so it's called the seersucker stitch, but all the BiCrafty boot campers know that it's the Chrissy stitch because Chrissy loves it and she wants a Chrissy cardigan made out of it.
Aww.
So I'm designing a Chrissy cardigan with that stitch because it's just so simple and so pretty.
I love it.
So it's the Chrissy stitch in my mind. I know. Let's see here. I used to follow written patterns in everything I do. I'm taking the opportunity to grow as a knitter and follow the charts. That's fantastic. You know what?
That's awesome.
I actually struggle with written patterns anymore because I prefer charts. And Marla, you guys, I made Marla read the chart so that she could write the directions. It was the first time she'd ever read charts. I didn't know that. I didn't know that part. But she kicked butt. Like she did such a good job. She did such a good job. Very proud of her. Questions for you. If you've never done a cable, should I practice on scrap yarn? So I talked about that one already. Sorry, Karen. All right. I'm not finding I am finding the charts easier to follow than the written. Did I scoop up?
You've done these already, yeah.
All right, hold on. My daughter knits and I crochet and knit. I am doing the crochet. We are both doing Japanese garden. We are having fun doing it together. Is there a way to check if I use the correct amount of color A in section 3? So she's doing the crochet.
Yeah. No, not really. I didn't keep track of how much I used of my A in between the sections because you end up with plenty at the end. I wouldn't worry about A. Unless you're like going crazy off gauge. Like if you're much, much bigger, then I would worry. But otherwise I wouldn't. I don't think it's not even something you were going to need to keep track of.
Yeah. All right. I can read charts just fine, but I prefer written instructions. I do appreciate both are included. I actually love that too, because then you guys can check and see if we have any mistakes. Because for how many times we've read these, looked at these, knit these, crocheted these, and had other eyes on these, sometimes your eyes just skip over if it says a knit one and there's literally no knit one in sight. Like your eyes just glaze over it, you know?
Yep.
Like
I'm the final. So Marley's the video editor. I'm the final proofreader. Like when they go into PDF, that's me. I'm the one who does all of the charts, all of the PDFs. I'm the final proofreader. So if I miss it, it's super embarrassing. I'm like, yep, did it again.
It is what it is. Hey, you know what? Like I just did a video for Joanne. Get this. I did a video for Joanne, the fabric store, right? And did the whole video. Thought it looked great. You saw the video.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice that I spelled stitch wrong? Throughout the whole video. It's missing a T. It's missing a T right before the CH through the whole video. Sent it to Joanne and they had to be like,
do you know how to spell?
I know. I was like, are you kidding me? But it's just an example of your mind just automatically corrects it. And sometimes you just don't see it. So, we're human. We're human. Let's see here. Good idea. Here's a good one because my answer would have originally been no. But if you have a box and you're If you have a box and you're concerned with the amount of yarn you're using, I would say yes. What would your answer be?
No.
You don't think so?
No. So here's the deal. I'm a bit more of a fly by the seat of my pants than you would expect for a former engineer, you know. But when it comes to knitting crocheting, no. The way I look at it is like, say you run out of yarn somewhere in your section. That means that your gauge went off somewhere. And keep in mind, like those mini skeins, they're mini. So like we're only at the minimum, we're hoping that you have 2 grams left, but like your gauge can switch in a heartbeat. You
Like
can
you
be
could purl.
watching.
You could have one row of purling just a little bit loose, and you're
Yeah.
off. Or the
Yeah.
chains. Your chains can get a little bit
Yeah. It can
too
go
big.
crazy. And this is where I become my designer, because I go, oh, I ran out. Let me see how I can fix it without having to do like something crazy. So like that's why I like all of the different customizations people are doing where they're using like other yarn throughout. I was like, oh, that is something I would totally do. I would take apart a couple motifs and use some of my scraps as like the centers of them. So then I have enough to connect all of them. If I was doing the knitting and I ran out, I would have totally like switched my stripes in the stripe divider to a different color, because again, you can't really see it.
Which is also one of the reasons why it's there, so that it can be changed really easily.
Right. Or like if I was like 2 rows from the end, most of your middle parts are like 24 rows, and if I got 22, I'd say, okay, keep
Whereas,
on going.
this
But
is so interesting because,
I know
like,
I'm not.
I'm weighing mine after every row.
I
Like after
know.
every row, I weigh it and write it down. Like I'm like, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that everything's good.
I know. And I am like,
You know
I
what?
like,
You know what's really funny is that that's very much the attitude of the crocheter versus the knitter.
yeah,
You know?
we like MacGyvering things. Like we're like, okay, this is cool. Now we're gonna try this. Or great, that's how you did that. I'm not gonna do it that way.
Yeah, I MacGyver some things, but usually with knitting, I'm very like this. I mean, although that's not really true because I change things up all the time. I don't know.
I will say that when I'm knitting, if there's like an increase or a decrease I just don't like, and I know I'm gonna have to
Oh,
do it
I
8
change
times,
it.
I just don't do it. Yeah.
Oh,
I
I change
just
it.
do
Oh yeah,
something else.
I totally
I
change it.
don't care.
I absolutely change it. That is probably like one of the most vague answers ever for you. So, do you need one?
So in the end, it depends on what type of person are you.
Mhm.
Like if you
Yep,
are
this is a good
very
one.
concerned and you want to, be super methodical, then yeah, go buy yourself a
Mhm.
scale. They're
Yep.
not that expensive on Amazon.
No, it's like
Um,
here. I'll get you a link. I'll even look up a link for you. I'll get you a link to the one I bought.
they're little, they're easy.
Yeah.
But if you are cool with being chill and just being like, I'll do something else, then no. I mean, I didn't.
I'm gonna literally look up the one I bought because you guys all saw mine in the gauge videos. But I've since bought one that it went down like beyond beneath just a gram. It's like like it goes to like 0.00 whatever, so it reads even more. Here, I'm gonna grab an affiliate link, everybody, so that you can, if you
You
do it,
can,
it doesn't cost you anything more.
well, yeah, you can just see what we're looking at, where you can get like
Yeah.
much, much better than like
Yeah, this
Coleman.
one
Like it'll
is
go down.
$13.54
So it's not
here in
that bad.
America. No, and do you absolutely have to have it? No. But this is the one I have. All right. So I just posted it. It should be posting now. All right. So let's see here. Here's one for you. Well, yeah, you're kind of crazy. That's part of why we love you. Well, that makes me feel good. And then here's another one. Crazy is underrated. uh June is not too late. You can absolutely start the shawl anytime you want. Oh, Barbara. I love Barbara Doll. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? That's one of the reasons I don't mind being a slow knitter, because I get to learn and before I start those sections. You know what? I mean, I don't blame you. Here's the thing. I actually really, really respect people who can join mystery make-alongs, because I don't think I could do it. I'm not. I mean, I probably could do one of yours. I'm trying to think of people I could probably do it. Like, I'm one of those people, like there's a very famous designer, right, that does mystery shawl make-alongs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will buy the shawl pattern, but I do not make along with this person because I want to see it. I'll buy the pattern, but I don't make along during the make along. I wait until it's done. Like, that's just who I am, which is funny because I do mystery make alongs all the time. Like all the time.
Yeah, you do a lot of them for
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So true. I wish with every pattern I can. So true. I wish with every pattern I could design. I am not. Oh, that she could be a designer. Maybe. I am happy for the gauge conversation. It has made me slow down and enjoy the journey and appreciate the intricacies of the pattern. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for saying that. I mean, really, that's what it all boils down to. And at the end of the day, if you bought a box, we're making sure you use all your yarn. Like, it's a good thing. If you tell me. I'm just going to leave that one right there real quick. Just gotta love Barbara. All right, so I'm going to leave this one too. I love the gauge info. I never did gauge swatches until Marley made me do it. MMMDI, baby. That's right. There you go. All right, so Karen has a question, which we've kind of already pieced, haha.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you answer that or not answer that.
Because you haven't gotten there yet, I'm going to leave this one up to your imagination what we might be doing with these two things. I think you can guess.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is a good one.
We're not telling you how or why.
Yeah. I want to hear you answer this one. Question for Robin. How best to secure the magic rings? I've had issues in the past.
That is great. Definitely have heard other people having issues with it. I pull it real tight, real tight, and then weave in that end around and around and around and around and around. And that's all I do. What do you do?
I actually have a video. I'm gonna link in there. I use my tail. The best way to weave in a tail for adjustable ring crochet. Because you guys know I'm different from Robin. Okay, I gotta click this, and I'm different from Robin. I absolutely disagree with crocheting over tails. Like, I am very anti that. Anybody who's watched my videos or anything like that knows. Very anti, especially when it comes to magic ring or adjustable ring, because they just open up the minute you start to wear it or use it or anything like that. So I'm very big on using my darning needle or a chenille needle and using it to really just seam it closed. Because if I go around, that eventually will come out. It's got to be different directions. That's where I am. Because, you get on that soapbox too. Why not? We talked about gauge, talked about trusting the designer, 14, 16 years experience. Yeah, it's awesome.
And we don't agree.
No. And that's fine. We can still love each other. It's how it should be.
Exactly.
Loving everyone's beautiful work on these shawls.
Me too. It makes me so excited every morning when I get to check out some more posts.
Mm-hmm. Here you go. I agree, Robin. I love the Japanese knitting patterns. Also, I haven't seen any Japanese crochet, but love what we are doing on the shawl. I think you introduced me to the Japanese knitting and crochet patterns, and I used to order them from Japan, and then some of the my fans back in the day would mail them to me from Japan. Like, I covet those things. They're amazing. I just think they're so fun. They're amazing.
Yeah. But now you can just get them on Amazon.
Yeah. Here you go. I've been using the knitting charts instead of the written pattern.
Nice.
Me too. The bigger the shawl, the better. I'm always freezing, and I love the extra fabric. Here's the deal. There's that fine line of too big and too small, right? At too small, it's like, what am I going to do with this?
It's a
And
scarf.
too big, it's like a blanket. Yeah, it's a scarf. We could have done scarves and you would have had like half a skein left of stuff, right? Or we could have made a super long scarf. You'd have been like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
But that's all right. Should we be blocking each section of the crochet shawl as we do them or wait until it's completely done? Great question.
Lynn, that's a fabulous question. So this is up to you. When I was doing mine, the ones that you see, like the that you see in the PDF, I blocked mine after each one because I was super impatient and I wanted to see how beautiful those motifs were when they opened up. But you absolutely do not have to. You can. We're going to block it all the way at the end. So it's up to you how impatient you are. But yeah, I seam blocked mine at the end of each section because I wanted to see them.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's one for you. And I didn't get this twice, so you're good. Ripped out the tab, but now I'm doing okay. And I'm also doing the crochet version too. That's great, Lisa. You know what? That garter tab was a little tricky for a lot of different people, which is interesting. I actually thought that was going to be one of the easiest parts for people because I feel like a lot of people have done the garter tab before, but maybe that's just my own ignorance shining through.
Yeah, it's just because it's small.
It's so
It's just,
tiny.
it's tiny. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all. If it was bigger, it's kind of easier.
Word. Word. And she's clarifying the triangle. So I get it. I totally get you. You and I, just like this, Shelby. You and I. You can see how far back in the comments I am. Interesting to hear your inspiration. I assume some of Marley's inspiration came from her Japanese. Yes, it did. Absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yep. Rose says that's like my inside the head is her. I can't even speak. You get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The pinball wizard. You know, in the Modmin group, that's what we call the Marley's Marley Bird, the Marley's Minions moderators. They're the Modmin. You can apply nicknames to Facebook names and stuff in groups, in like not in groups, in like the messenger chats. So mine is Yarn Wizard. You're a wizard, Marley. So it's funny. Robin, don't give her any ideas for 9 and 10. Already been there, Rob. Already been there. She had to talk me down. I picked the international box for Robin's because I thought the colors were patriotic and pattern lighter for summer. Marley's in the Japanese garden colors is going to cheer me up in the winter or the dark winter. That's cool.
I love it.
That's one thing. I love seeing the colors because I worked with the international box. And so I love seeing the opposite colors. Like that's really cool.
Same.
Thank you for explaining charts. They are no longer scary.
Yay.
Yes, our work here is done. Okay. I love it when Pearl's tail goes by like Josh shark fin. Yep.
She's just that friendly and she needs to be right with us.
Tonight at dinner, after dinner, so it was after dinner, it's not at dinner, it was after dinner. She was, jumping up like she does. She gets her hands up here and she just was trying so hard to reach up at me. So I bent down to like pick her up like a baby, you guys. And she just jumped up just on my hip like a baby, arms around my shoulder like this, right? So there's around my shoulder and she's just trying to like French kiss me. I'm like, Pearl. And she's like coming around my hat. Like, I just want to get a little love. Don't you know? And so she's special. Okay. I love seeing Marley wearing the BiCrafty community cowl in a video. Thanks for teaching us so that we can participate. You are more than welcome, Stacey. I love that cowl. I can't wait to wear the hat. And speaking of, I have the mittens over here half made. So because tomorrow night we're doing the finishing on the mittens in tomorrow night's BiCrafty Bootcamp Live. So I'll be here tomorrow night too for that. That's a good time. That's going to be a workshop too. Eventually, that'll be fun. Every time I think Marley can't find something new to challenge me with, she reaches into her bag of tricks and does it again. I'm like Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way. So just ask my husband. Okay. Speaking of husband, my husband's job was a videographer, and he edited all the videos, wedding, bands, etc. And knows exactly how much work goes into producing these videos. Great job. Thank you. It is a lot. I mean, I enjoy it, not gonna lie, I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of time to do it. A lot of time. Everybody is saying yes, it's so worth the money. That's how far back in the comments I am. So much worth the money. So much worth the money. Absolutely, positively worth the money. Worth every dime for this workshop. Professional, fun, and great learning opportunity. That makes me feel so good. Amazing work put into this. Absolutely worth every penny. It's very clear, and a ton of work went into this workshop. Both are fantastic teachers and instructors. Worth the money. Finally learned how to read the symbols for cables. Makes it so much faster and easier. Oh my gosh, isn't that so nice, sweet, guys? Like, that's just the best. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you. Gotta go to supper, catch the replay. Marla rocks. Yes, she does. I've taken many knitting classes. Barbara has. She's fantastic. I've taken many knitting classes with and Marley is the best teacher in person as well as online. Barbara, thank you. I'll make sure to put your money in the PayPal account later for saying that. I love Barbara. She has like one of the first classes she took with me, it was at a Stitches, and she got it. She's like, "What can I do to help you?" And I was like, "Oh, I like you." Like, she's great. She's fantastic. I love Barbara. It's pretty good. All right, keep going. Marley, I hold my yarn in my right hand. Is there a video where you show how to knit with the yarn in your left hand? Actually, so with BiCrafty Bootcamp, because it's all geared towards teaching crocheters how to knit, it's all continental. So if you want to check out the BiCrafty Bootcamp, you could watch those videos. Even though you know how to knit, you could see how I hold the yarn, and as I'm showing the crocheters what I do. Because there's many different ways to do continental knitting, and I tend to swing my finger a lot more than other people do, which I have no idea how it happened. It just started. That's just my way.
It's just your thing.
It's just my thing. But yeah,
and Debbie finds all those videos here.
Yeah, right here
on YouTube.
Yep, and they're all on live. Like, they're not like videos that are pre-recorded. They're all live content, live videos, and the instructions and stuff. The links are all in each video in the video description box. Hopefully it's okay that I'm not a MacGyver crocheter, just like to follow recipes, follow crochet patterns closely, and have panic attacks if I run out of yarn. I don't understand stitches, etc. Julie, I get that too. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. Which is why we've been so consistent in making sure that everybody is aware. Make sure you're staying aware and vigilant with how much yarn you're using and stuff, because we don't want you to run out of yarn, because it can be very easy to run out of yarn when you're talking about 2 grams of yarn left.
It's not a lot left.
Not that much yarn. Like, even if you were to know that you're going to have 2 grams of yarn left, or somewhere around there, maybe even 1.5 grams, you get down to like 3 grams, you're going to be like, whew, I'm sweating this. And you won't even have a scale. You won't even know what you have left.
Just tell it's just a little nub.
It's just like, yeah, it's just a nothing. It's just a nothing. And you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to make the next row? I get it. Totally. We did that stressing. We did it for you. Debbie, check out the first BiCrafty Bootcamp video. Yep, that's exactly. We talked about all of that. An intricate pattern for this professional caliber should cost 3 times more. Thank you for making it accessible to us. Angela, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. This workshop is so worth the money. I'm enjoying it and learning more and more about charts. I can read them, but I am getting more confident. That is great.
That's fabulous.
And I think I've caught up. This is like the last comment I have on here. Oh, there's more. You've both done great with making sure we are staying aware of things. No panic attacks in this workshop. Well, almost. Fantastic. Yeah. You should. The first time I had to rip out to readjust my pattern, I called Robin and I was like, I just ran out of yarn. She goes, welcome to my hell. I was like, she goes, yeah, I've had to do that a couple times because we've had to adjust things to make them work. So like I said, we stressed out before you guys had to do it, right?
It was like months and weeks of sending pictures back and forth of like, not that one. That one won't work. Try again.
Welcome to my hell. because because we don't want it to be your hell. We want it
Yep.
to be good for you.
Why we picked the ones we did.
I was wowed in section 4. I think it was where you show all the many ways to use a cable needle. And the last one where you said, I hear you say, nope, not doing that, right after I said, nope, not doing it. Because I can hear you guys, man. I'll be sitting there teaching something and I'm talking and it's like in the background, I can hear somebody shaking their head, be like, girl, crazy. I'm not doing that. Nope. She looks good doing it. Not going to do that. What other pattern do I want to do? Right? Yeah, I totally get it. Okay, so a bunch of them just popped up. Let's see here. Thank you if X equals Y and Marley Bird for the answers. No problem. Doesn't crochet take more yarn than knit?
It does.
Yes, it does.
It does, yeah. So the crochet shawl is definitely more narrow than the knit shawl is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And I think our stripes are just different in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a tutorial for the bobble stitch? Okay, so funny story. Lindsay told me I wasn't allowed to add the bobble stitch to my shawl. She goes, they look like little boobs all over the place. You're not allowed to put them in there. And I said, oh, well, that was part of this plan, so I'll scrap that one. She goes, no bobbles. It was like, no capes, no bobbles.
Just like no four.
That's right, no four.
No bobble.
No four. Somebody asked me in the group, you say that I could do 4 rows of A, but because it's 4 rows of A, but then when you do the next one, that gives you 3 ridges. They're like, well, could I do 3 rows of A and then go? And I'm like, well, that's going to give you 4 ridges. If you're okay with that, you can. Technically, yes, you can. That just makes me want to cringe. Like, there's no way. I don't want that.
With the number 4.
I don't like the number 4. Don't like the number 4. But to answer the question, I really do have a tutorial on the bobble stitch, and it's actually built into, it's not a standalone, it's built into one of the Joann's stitch alongs. I think it was last year's blanket had bobbles in it. So if you're interested in that, there's bobbles in that. I have instructions for that, but I don't have a standalone bobbles. I have color A connected to both sides of the knit one. Is there a good place to cut color A from side 1 through 4 or 6? Okay, so Rose, I'm gonna give it to you straight here, Rose. You ready? I think you're good, whatever you want to do. I think I personally would probably cut from the 1 through 4 side and leave it on 6. Well, no, because you're gonna have to use it on 5. So if you have it cut for both sides, you have 1 through 4, and then you finish the divider on 4. So the only place you're going to use A again is on stripe for 5, and then you use it a little bit for the divider on 5. So what you could do, honestly, Rose, is this. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Okay, we're gonna deviate a little bit. You ready?
You mean 6. You don't mean 5. And when you're saying 5,
I meant 6. Oh,
you meant 6.
I meant 6.
Mm-hmm.
From a side.
I knew what you were talking about.
Okay, is there a good place to cut color A from side 1, 4, 6? So it's still attached after you finish 6?
You can.
If it is, just cut it.
Cut.
I switched 5 and 6, you guys, in the instructions. That's why I get all mixed up.
And we did it on purpose because 4 was a lot, and we knew that 6 was a lot, and we thought that's not.
Let's give them a little bit of a break. Yeah. So in my head, 6 is 5 and 5 is 6. Yeah. If 5 was supposed to come, let's see, 6 was supposed to come after 4. So it was originally my plan 5. And then 6 was going to be the triangle. But I switched their place, hoping to make the knitters a little bit. It's like, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of a break because it was a lot. 4 was a lot. And you guys know 6 is a lot. So I was trying to give you a little bit of a break. So it gets confusing in my head sometimes. Did I answer the question? If you're done with A on 6, cut it. You can cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The amount of effort in this workshop by Jean with the yarn, absolutely. Lindsay with the boxes, you guys have no idea. And you two has been absolutely amazing. Can't wait to knit after the crochet. Donna, thank you for saying that. You know what? All 4 of us make a really good team because we're all very dedicated in what we do. And we all have our jobs and we kill it at what we do. Like, we're really good at what we do. And I know that's just totally tooting my own horn, but you know what? I'm going to own it. There are other people out there that own it, and it's not ego. It's not anything like that. You should be confident in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've done a really great job. If you are in the workshop, that sounded so bogus. That sounded such crap. I think we did a really good job. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it to be all poopy like that. I didn't mean it like that. I feel like we've done a really good job. Now I'm overextending. Now I've made it weird, huh? Now it's awkward.
You did. Sorry. You kept going.
You're supposed to shut me up. Where were you? I'm gonna take a drink. It's tea.
Some water will calm her down. But yes, if X equals Y, yes. Destination Yarn, she does have some very pretty colors. They're not the ones that are in the box, but they're very, very pretty.
Check out Destination. Yeah.
Because that's what G does. She makes beautiful. All the colors coordinate.
Yeah.
That's her thing.
See, even Fairy thinks we're amazing. You ladies are amazing. Just joined. So excited to pick out the yarn. Which boxes are you referencing? So there were BiCrafty Games boxes available through Erin Lane Bags or Destination Yarn. There might be like 1 or 2 boxes left from one of those places. All you need to do is just go to erinlanebags.com or destinationyarn.com and look for BiCrafty Games. And if you want to purchase one of the boxes, it comes to you with all the colors of the kit. I think only the international boxes are available. So you get all the colors plus a bunch of goodie stuff inside. You get some bags and a bunch of other stuff. So you know you're getting bags and yarn. Then you get the workshop included. And then there's other goodies involved in there. But that's what that is. Karen says, ordered the scale. Thanks for your recommendation. Mine came out great. I use mine, like I have mine over on the table actually. I do love algebra and logic, but I'm actually in marketing. Ha! That's awesome. That's awesome. My friend thinks I'm crazy for joining these make-alongs. My husband thinks I'm crazy putting them together. What's your recommended yarn to keep Karen Skinny Cakes and Red Heart? I'm using Susan Bake's hook. Is it the hook? What? From splitting? What's your recommended yarn to keep Karen Skinny Cakes and Red Heart? I don't understand the question. Do you understand the question? I don't understand the question. I wonder if it's splitting. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. If you can ask it another way, that would help. I think you did a great job. It's fine. Fairy Mama, there were limited edition boxes. She's just on top of it.
You are. Awesome.
Thank you. There you go. I'm just going to leave that one right there. As well as that one. As well as that one. Here's a good one. Is there going to be a live Q&A every Wednesday for the rest of the workshop? I didn't get the notification and only saw the video now. So hopefully Musing Maple, if you are in the workshop, hopefully you got the email. I did send out an email yesterday, kind of as an update about the PDFs, about today's question and answer, and then about this big sale that happens over with Lindsay and also on Jean's website also. Next Wednesday, are we doing another one of these next Wednesday, sort of as a wrap up?
Might as well.
Yeah, I think next Wednesday will be the last one, sort of as a wrap up. And then please check your email. You should have gotten an email.
Finally be able to like hold it up.
It'd be nice to show you what we're talking about. Yeah, it'd be nice. Yes, her yarn keeps splitting. Yarn keeps splitting.
It could be the hook. Absolutely. 100%.
Yep.
Could be the hook.
This is funny. You did a tutorial on how best to use the different Erin Lane bags. Funny enough, Lindsay came to my house in Colorado and recorded those. And I had 2 hard drives crash on me about this time last year. And we lost all the material. So we have to
We were going to put it in this workshop, actually.
Yep, I lost all of it. So much fun. So bad at checking email. Put me on the VIP list, girlfriend. Okay, I need to make my own bags to make more projects.
Nice.
Go for it. I love watching you ladies, especially when you start laughing. Well, then you get a lot of that. When
get
you're
ready
both
for
laughing,
Section 8. She didn't cut a lot out.
Alora goes, we're leaving that in there. I said, I think so too. She goes, that needs to start the video. I said, I think so too. And so that was Alora's call. Her other one, when you watch 9, because Robin is just getting them from us, you guys, to review them before they're released to you. So when you watch 9, that was also Alora's idea to keep that at the start. So just watch and see. It's cute. It's really cute. So let's see here. All of the emails that we have, if we've sent out, I don't think we've sent out very many emails to just the BiCrafty workshop and games people. But if we do, I think they all come from Marley at marleybird.com. I'm fairly certain they do. Yeah. So if you want to make sure that email address, Marley at marleybird.com, I don't have an E in my name, you guys. So there's no E, and bird is like the animal. So it's BIRD. Make sure that's, what do they call that? They call it, what is it called? Where you make it so that it's like clean listed or something, like it's okay, whatever it is, make it so like it's not spam, like it's okay email to come in. I don't know what that's called.
It's safe.
So yeah, make sure you do that. So regarding that email, one thing that we talked about is that we have in each section, whenever there's like a little tweak or anything, we talked about this a little bit last week, we've gone in and updated the PDFs. So I just want everybody to know we have thus far, we've updated, all the PDFs that as much as, as people find little things here and there, we'll go in and update it. We haven't updated anything past or anything. Did we do anything today? Mm-mm. We did something last night. I don't think we did anything today. So if you wanted to go into your Member Vault account and just check out all the PDFs, you could see if there was an update, it has a date on there. You'll be able to see it. So if you wanted that most up-to-date PDF, even though you have finished that section, or maybe you're getting ready to go to that section, make sure you go back and check just to make sure. Highly recommend doing that. If you are catching this on the replay, meaning you've already got the whole workshop, you've got everything up to date already, like everything should be good. And just a friendly reminder, at the end of the workshop, you are getting a complete PDF of everything put together in one pattern. It's like a book, guys. So really if you're like, hey, I've already finished that part, I'm not going to go back and worry about it, I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. But if it's something that you're only on 2, I would absolutely like make sure you go back and if you've already downloaded the others, just make sure you have the most up-to-date ones. And remember, we only send out an email if there's a big update that like it's oh my gosh, if you don't fix this, something's really bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, those are the Robin did something wrong.
No, that
Robin definitely doesn't know how to add anymore.
So you're fine. You guys are doing well. The other thing, somebody mentioned earlier that she bought both of the BiCrafty Games boxes, and she never thought she would be disappointed to see more yarn because it gets a little overwhelming to open yarn, and you're like, it's another section coming up, because we are trying to keep up at a pace.
How you say this, Marley?
How do I say it? What am I saying wrong? I don't know what I said. So
no. I know the lane that you're going down. You're driving down. Just be careful. Don't give away too much of the surprise.
Well, why don't you say it then? Because now you have me scared. So you say it.
Okay. So,
by the way, we sort of matched tonight.
That's what I was looking at too, which just cracks me up. I think we did it. I don't know what we did last time, but
we
have like the same brain. Today is the blue day, evidently. Okay. What we wanted to say is between the two of us, we've decided to switch things up. Surprise.
We okayed it with Jean and Lindsay too, so it's not just us.
Tomorrow you're getting section 8. Surprise. But from there on out, we are going to lengthen the time. We want to give everybody a little bit more time, because at the end, if you've squished your bags, you'll see that you're like, it's going to be bing, 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 bing. And we just thought that's too much. So we are going to lengthen it. But I don't want to give away too much of it.
So, all right, I'm going to say it this way.
Okay.
If you open yarn and there's not a new section in the workshop, you're getting a free day. The section will be coming out the next day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we will put notices of that for those of you who are doing this live, we'll put that on the Marley's Minions, in the Marley's Minions group on Facebook and in the dedicated box group. The people who bought the box, those of you who don't know, people who bought the box, they have their own dedicated group. Like that was part of the thing of the box.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you're in the group, you follow the rules, everything's great, you're good to go. So we'll make sure we post everything in both of those areas. So like if you're just like, oh, I got yarn today, but I don't see the instructions for this section, we'll be like, hey, surprise, this is what we were talking about. You're getting an extra day.
And we're extending the make along a little bit longer.
Just a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah. Jean and Lindsay originally thought it would end. They thought it would end on Sunday, right? Is that right? Yeah. We're extending it a little bit longer because we want to have everybody. We don't want everybody stressing out.
And that's really where it boils down to. For me, it's like I'm reading the room. Like I actively see people stressing out, and I don't want people to stress out. It's like, stop. Please don't stress out. Please, please, please. No. And if I can give you the gift of time simply by just not giving you something and saying, hey, you have an extra day. Girl, if people did that for me, I mean, when people do that for me, I'm ecstatic because that's great. And we can do that because it's sticks and string, y'all. We got this. No big deal.
Yeah. So, like we said, we'll do a whole recap on Wednesday, and that will be like the official
end will be Wednesday
of us harassing you all the time.
Yes. But I mean, I can see you guys being like, oh, that's nice. I mean, come on. Musing Maple, you got to tell me that's got to feel good. That's got to feel good. Yeah, because she says trying to keep up with the sections has been really hard. We're giving you the gift of time, my friend.
It is. It is not easy.
Yep. And I mean, this one, thank you. It's going way too fast. Dude, it's fast. And like I said, guys, it was purely to make sure that those sections were available as people open yarn. But we're just switching it up a little bit here. We're just making sure you guys all know, like, it's good. We're good. It's all good. Please harass us all you want. It's so much fun. Music, it does. It feels very good. That makes me so happy. Here's another one. I need the extra time to catch up, so thank you. Fantastic. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is I did mention that my section 6, you guys have probably seen, I've put it in Member Vault. I've put it in both of the Facebook groups. I've tried to mention it as much as possible. You know, with cables, they eat up more yarn, and you know that it has more stitches in section 6 than before. So being careful of gauge in that section is like uber important. And it's hard to be on gauge in that section because your gauge was dealing with garter stitch, right? In the sense that it's hard to keep track of. So that's where my scale came in handy, because I was like, okay, I have 30 rows. How much yarn can I use in each row to make sure that I'm on track, right? That's what I kept track of. My point here is, say for some reason you purled a little bit too big on a couple of the sections and it ate up your yarn. Totally guilty of that myself. I totally understand. I had to rip out and redo and things before in the past. So I totally get it. But let's say you get to where your stripes are and you've maybe you've run out of yarn. That's a perfect opportunity to start like incorporating maybe some of your scrap yarn that you have from that side of your shawl, put it into your, not stripes, it would be your divider. Put it into your divider section there and just add different colors and make it on purpose. Make sure you have enough though to do it on the other side when you're coming down. You know what I mean? And no, that's not true. On the other side, you'll have those colors.
Yeah. You're good.
So, I mean, that's a place you could totally do that. Mm-hmm. Or you could totally stop at row 25. No, you can't, because you have to decrease those stitches.
You have to get down.
26 is the decrease. You have to get down to it. You know what? Nobody's run out of yarn. And I know that it's probably because I'm like, just pay attention. I'm probably like totally in their face. So nobody's run out of yarn, which is great. And I don't want people to, and I don't mean to stress people out. It's just, I want to make sure that we're all aware and everybody's good, but I want you to know, like, that's a good place to make a change. If you want to, you can always add colors there. If you need to. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I really feel I'm trying to say things without sounding like, I'm not trying to be defensive, and I'm not trying to be like you. I'm not trying to be like all of that, but I feel like I am, because I see my hands up here a lot. So please don't take it that way. I am not meaning it to be that way. I really want you guys to love this as much as I love it. And so I'm just very much like, please, please, please just make sure everything is on so that you're just happy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got? Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, yin and yang. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Okay. This was a great project. You guys are great. So mad work is in the way. I'll get some more time. I totally understand. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I can't wait for the next section.
Me too. I hear you.
I'm tempted to do both in single colors because they are simply beautiful. So Rose, one thing that Marla, my tester, is doing is she is using Red Heart. It's a wrap, and it's not variegated. It's a long color changing yarn that
Yeah.
goes from, one shade to another, and it looks beautiful. So she's not changing
Mm-hmm.
colors in the stripes or the divider section. She's just working through those rows, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
You can do it in the knitting.
Yeah.
You can't do it in the crochet.
Nope. It would, because
I have color work in the crochet.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't catch up, but at least I'll be closer. Yeah. Positive attitude.
Yeah.
So glad for more time. Had to delay the start due to trying to do blood platelets donation. That went bad. Ooh, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it skipped ahead of me again. So happy to hear this. Hubby has asked me where I'm at with projects because I've been a little stressed about this. Rare to have him engaged in my make along. That's funny. Thank you for supporting us. You're very welcome. Rose said she did not run out of yarn, but she had less than other sections because she had more stitches. Let's see here. Are you? You would think so. Not as much as Lindsay.
I'm part Italian.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I'm a part of a lot of things.
That's funny. Megan Lewis is using It's a Wrap, and it's looking amazing for my colors in crochet.
I love it.
That's awesome. I honest to God, and I don't even mean this as anything because I am an ambassador for Yarn Inspirations, but I literally haven't used Lion Brand yarn, guys, in like 7 years. So I will take your word for it. I will take your word for it. Okay. Julia is part Italian too. We could have a good family spaghetti dinner. All right. Well, it's definitely a little bit more than an hour, but I tried to get through everything.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything that we wanted to talk about?
No. The main things I wanted to talk about were a couple of those things that came up in the Facebook group of go ahead and use your other colors whenever you want. Mm-hmm. Go for it. Go forth and be creative. I'm here for it. I want it all. I love it all. And I say it in the videos coming down the line, but use it now if you want to. This is yours.
So here's a question for you. Because half of theirs is done, would they be able to block their half for the crochet right now, or would you rather them wait till they're done? I know the knitting, I don't want them to block theirs yet. I want it completely done before they block.
You can block whenever you want to block in the crochet one.
Okay.
It won't make any difference.
Okay.
Like I said, I blocked mine every single step of the way.
Okay. There you go. Cool. That'll be good for everybody. Awesome. Okay. Well, one more time, if you guys are not part of the workshop and you're just watching this live here on YouTube because for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to join us. The information is right there on screen, but it's also in the video description box below. It is not too late to join the fun. I will be posting this video in Member Vault for those of you who are part of this. So that way, if you want to come back and watch, you absolutely can. As always, if you have any questions, please join us over in the Marley's Minions Facebook group. I'm answering stuff there, during this along. And then if you bought the box, I hope that you are a part of the box group. If you've been a part of that, you can ask those questions there. I think I think that's about it for tonight. Yeah.
That's it.
So next Wednesday we'll have another live Q&A, and I'm going to have prizes to give away out next Wednesday, so you want to make sure you join in, cuz we'll be giving them live on air, cuz I'm going to do live on air. So if you guys want a chance to win a prize, you definitely want to make sure that you catch it live, and it will be at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, barring any catastrophes or anything. So we should be good. I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, everybody. I feel like we need like outro music or something, but
Yeah.
all right. Bye, Robin.
Bye, Marley.
Okay.